And now, your official TigerBait live show with Mike Scarborough and Buddy Songy starts now.
All right, everybody, welcome in a new edition of TigerBait Live. Again, we're going 6 o'clock on a Tuesday versus the typical 8 p.m. on Wednesday night due to, frankly, we've got a lot of errands to run. Buddy's been running all over town delivering turkeys, and thanks to him, he just delivered me a really nice fried turkey, so we'll be feasting on that on Thanksgiving Eve, and we got a lot to be thankful for. But like the title of the show is tonight is LSU and Brian Kelly needs some significant wins in the transfer portal. And between what he had to say on Monday, what he had to say at his show last night, and of course, we know all what happened last week with Bryce Underwood, Jem Stewart, people predicting him to USC, Frank Wilson saying it's not over, I'm told, but got some work to be done here. And it's going to be a vitally important post-Thanksgiving for the LSU football program. And, of course, brought to you by Pride Roofing. If you're enjoying the show, hit the like button. And welcome in, buddy.
Good to see you, Mike. Happy Thanksgiving to you and the future wife and all of you out there. Hope that all of you, look, we've all lost a lot of people. And Charlie Baglio and Ed Daniels, and it's been a tough year for a lot of the loved ones. So for those of you experiencing Thanksgiving without their loved one for the first time, we have you in our prayers. Mike has it a little bit differently, and I like to spin it a little bit differently. We don't get together and get the straws and say, you say this and I say that. We're own independent, and quite frankly, I've got a little bit of a different take tonight. And yes, it hurts that you lose Bryce Underwood, no doubt about it. But they did everything that they could. Mike said, it's all about money. I said, I know, but it's complicated. Let me tell you what, folks, they got his parents. And when you live in Michigan, and all of a sudden the Ellisons and his wife, who's a Michigan grad, and then you got Portnoy, full of mouth with pizza and hate of LSU in Michigan, then you got Tom Brady and all of that. It was just a matter of time. Did he play LSU? Probably. Bottom line, though, is that life is 10% of what happens and 90% of how you deal with it. So go get DJ Pickett signed, sealed, and delivered. Go get Kate Phillips. In other words, what I'm saying is that if you keep 4 or 5 of these studs and you lose Underwood, it's not that big a deal. If Jem Stewart wants to go and play for $2 million a year at USC, Oregon, whatever, more power to him. But I don't think he would find better coaching and kicking it up a notch or two with Kevin Peoples if he's still a defensive end, or Bo Davis if he grows into a D tackle. So bye-bye. If you just want $2 million, if you don't realize you're going to be making a shit pile of money if you come to LSU and then go to the pros because of what Kevin Peoples and Bo Davis are going to teach you, then bye-bye. So those two departures probably looked at a little bit differently than maybe you have.
Well, here's the thing on Jem Stewart.
He's played 10 freaking games in high school.
Right, but look, it's not over with. So don't jump on him and say he sucks yet. He might.
I didn't say he sucks. I said if he doesn't realize the opportunity he has with those two coaches, then he's all about the money.
But buddy, we've gotten this before. LSU's not the only place that has decent coaches. Is Bo Davis the best defensive line coach in college football?
He's one.
There's about 3 or 4, 5, 6
one of them.
There.
Kevin Peoples, I'll put against anybody. You haven't seen the difference with Savion Jones and 13, who changed the number to 4. Look, I understand what you're saying. Everybody's developing, but Mike, if you give somebody $2 million a year or more, your locker room is going to have residual problems, and it's already something he's had to deal with guys coming in wanting more money. I'm just saying you can take care of everybody than just the quarterback.
But I'm going to spin around on this.
Or D-line.
Okay. We can say that, and I agree with you, LSU did everything they could for Bryce Underwood.
Okay.
They left it all out there. They went up to $10 million.
Yeah.
Okay. They got beat on it.
You're not
going to beat Oracle money. And so we'll see what happens to Jem Stewart. My point is, and then Senac today, of course, I think Senac doesn't hurt as bad because it's not like he's still at Newman and he's still a Louisiana kid. Because he had that buffer of a year in Missouri, I don't think Matt McMahon gets hammered, but you lose Jem Stewart, regardless of whether you think it would have been the same thing with Dominic McKinley last year. I think Dominic McKinley's a project. But had you lost him because some of the networks rated him so high, it makes you look bad. But they got him. So,
by the way, Dominic McKinley graded out higher than any D lineman on the team.
Especially when you need defensive linemen so bad.
Well, I know, but they've already got 3 or 4 commitments. Jem Stewart is a guy that has great potential, but once again, is he worth $2 million a year when you can get 3 or 4 players for that amount of money? Is what I'm saying.
But here's the deal.
I don't give a shit about public perception and PR and all that.
But here's real life.
Sorry, folks. I mean,
here's real life. The roster is a mess. It's an absolute mess, buddy. Your best 2 players are Aaron Anderson and Parrish Shan, and neither one of those guys are going to be all SEC.
Parrish Shan's not one of the best players.
I mean, Swinson, excuse me.
Okay. All right.
Swinson, those 2 are your best 2 guys, and they're not going to even be all SEC.
Oh, I agree. There's going to be very, very few.
Every position on this team needs immediate transfer portal help. So where the problem comes in is if you look at what was in the December portal, the total, every kid that got in the portal last year, how many starters do you think SEC quality starters were actually in the portal in December? 15, 20?
I don't know. I mean,
this program needs 15 starters.
Look, we talked about
it. So you're going to get all of them.
But it's a changing door every year. You can't look into the crystal ball right now and tell me 10 players that are going to start.
So this is my gripe. I think BK is setting the stage, and you can call it whether it's excuse making or not. He's setting the stage for him to he's basically wanting a reset button because Austin Thomas didn't get here till January. Didn't have the salary cap or whatever the terms he used yesterday.
But you've been saying he's got 2 years, whether you want to hear it or not.
Oh, folks. No, he does. But
he's got 2 more years, whether you want it or not, and he will be judged on what those guys. And quite frankly, it was a big disappointment.
I just don't want people in the spring and summer spinning new guys like they did, like this past summer, Suggs and Paez and Harvey Martin and Ed Too Tall Jones.
Well, look, I don't think anybody said that. You want to believe that LSU.
And that's,
by the way,
even those 2 guys are before my time.
Well,
but that was when I was little. Okay,
I know, but my point is this: remember, you were going with where's the beat? Where's the beat? Defensive line has not been the problem. They've got the worst safety play I've ever seen in the last 2 years. I'm not calling the names anymore. This is the worst punting I've ever seen. Once again, special teams leaves a lot to be. Look, I agree with you. There's a lot of work to be done.
So my point is, there needs to be some wins. And what am I calling wins? Not just the football. You need some wins. Like I think there's a win coming. If you want to look at it that way, I think Harold Perkins is from what I gathered today, is coming back.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you get Emory Jones back,
I think Emory Jones has a good chance.
And so
some people are thinking Mason Taylor. Are you buying? I don't think.
I don't know. I haven't heard about Mason Taylor. I don't know what his draft stock is, but I had heard on Perkins. I'd heard on Emory Jones, and BK did verify that CJ Daniels is coming back, and that's big. He's a blessed blocking wide receiver. So that's all I'm saying to you. Look, I know it's been a hot mess, but I'm just saying right now the crystal ball is fuzzy, and it's going to be for the next 3 or 4 months.
And by the way, he knows his roster is not there.
Of course he knows. He watches them play.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, LSU, Oklahoma, first time the Sooners have ever been to Tiger Stadium. You were there. I had Zach on today.
Man, what do you make of this game now?
I don't know, because look, if Oklahoma, I'm hearing Myron Patton from OKC. I met Myron many years ago when Oklahoma and LSU played in the Sugar Bowl National Championship, obviously culmination of the 2003 season. And he's a super guy, and I'm going to go on his show, and he's going to come on mine. But I told him if Oklahoma plays on the road the way they played against Alabama, they will very likely beat LSU. But you don't play the same on the road as you do at home. But there was linebackers.
That was fun to watch.
Oh, man.
Dude, everybody was watching that in the press box.
But look, once again, we get spicy because we love it. We're passionate. I apologize for the cussing tonight. I'm just a little fired up after having a long day with dealing with traffic and turkey deliveries. But we are ready to go and appreciate you and all of you. We hope that you have a blessed and safe Thanksgiving.
All right, everybody. Hit that like button if you're enjoying the show. Let's dive in. We got a lot of comments ready to go. Roger Ramjet, always up first. Hey, Mike and Buddy, good to be with you. Always enjoy the show. Go Tigers. Count the money. One evening, guys. Listening to Dave Portnoy detail his involvement with Bryce's flip makes me not like Underwood and disdain for Portnoy more. Todd Davis. Ellison, founder of Oracle, is said to have chipped in money. Yes, he did. Hey, Buddy, says Wolf Dude. Evening, fellas. LSU needs GATA in the transfer portal. What is GATA?
Get after their ass.
There you go. There you go.
And that's some mean, hungry, nasty guys on defense. We've been saying it for 3 years. LSU's got to get more physical. Jacques asked him the question. You've been talking about it. They have got to get more physicality on their football team moving forward.
Andy Whitaker, Fizzbuzz, says the new thumbnail looks great. I sprung that on Buddy right before we went live.
It's hard to make me look good in any way, shape, or form, but
yeah, that new artist, she did a great job. We got a lot of those coming. Todd Davis, Brian Kelly told us what Mike has been saying, that they did not go strong through last year's portal.
And you got on him about that, and you asked him specifically. And what I'm telling you, I'm giving you credit.
No, but if you remember, in November, he said he was going to go strong in the portal in December, and then they didn't.
Yeah. But did they have Austin Thomas and all the money? Look.
Now, there's some people who are saying that Woodward was behind the scenes saying you ain't got the money.
Yeah. Well, my point is this. You hate for a while.
By the way, Woodward's taking a lot of heat right now, folks.
Who's that?
Woodward is.
Oh, yeah. Woody's.
There's a lot of stuff out there right now.
Yeah, sure. But once again, I would rather have 3 or 4 players on offense and 3 or 4 players on defense and lose Underwood and Stewart. Stewart knows that those 2 coaches would do a hell of a job with him. We don't even know if he's going to grow into a D tackle or not. But look, that's the great thing also about the transfer portal. We've seen it. If you lose them the first time, you got a chance of getting them if they're not happy. I'm not talking about Underwood or Jakeem Stewart, but Mike, I think that was a positive to me on the Monday press conference. He is going to aggressively pull out the Mike Scarborough wallet and get after people as far as and look, no disrespect to the AJ Swans.
Mike Scarborough ought to get you some kids at BRCC.
but I think they're going to spend some money on top rated. They've got to upgrade their portal transfer guys.
Brad David, Mike, with Napier now staying at Florida, do you think any SEC coaches will get fired? I mean, it's kind of amazing, isn't it? I mean, look, we make a lot of predictions in the summer, and some of them are laughable at this point. But, I mean, it was just like a foregone conclusion, Napier and Pittman. How about that?
I'll give Billy credit. Look, I called him Sunbelt Billy, and we all had the jokes. And in fact, when I was Florida on vacation in this summer, we had a discussion. I said, man, you guys have one of the hardest schedules in the country. And they do. He has done a great job. If you'd have told me they would beat LSU and Ole Miss and Florida State to win their final 3 games, I wouldn't have believed it. But it all is contingent upon DJ Lagway. He's done a great job. And, of course, he got the 1-year vote of confidence.
That's why you want a dual threat quarterback.
Oh, no doubt. They got a dual threat quarterback. They got to go get it.
Kenny Haynes says, where's my turkey, Mike and Buddy? Barry Barbie, Jakeem Stewart, we're wind up a bust. He's not ready yet, and all he wants is money. We don't need him.
Nobody's disparaging the kid, but I just think those 2 guys are a hell of a
man.
combo.
A lot of things. Carr had to jump through hoops to get this kid eligible too. By the way, went above and beyond.
So, and listen, some kids want to go out of state. Corey Foreman, you remember him? Big time D lineman. He was a bust. I mean, you never know. It's up to that kid how he's going to work. But when you get $2 million laid on your doorstep for 3 years, you just don't have the same drive sometimes.
Well, we're going to see where it ends up.
He's not worth 3 or 4 players.
I'm told that Frank Wilson is defiant that it ain't over with today.
Yeah. Well, I don't think BK will pay $2 million a year for any player. Not after what happened with Underwood.
Yeah, Todd Davis. How about LSU men's basketball clawing back from 20 to win? That was fun to watch.
That was a crazy game. I saw a little bit of it. They down 20. I left. I turned on the radio. I had the station on, and lo and behold, it was like 3 hours. They were still playing. It was in triple overtime. So big win for Matt McNair. I worry about both the men and the women not having enough bigs. Jersey and Aaliyah Del Rosario have got to kick it up a notch. I know Samaya and this are going to be there, but and then the men, I wish they had another 6'10" or boy, Senac would fit perfectly on this team. By the way, is he done? Did he sign, or is there another signing period when he actually signs? A later signing period?
Well, when I was watching, he did a deal. I mean, he must have already signed and sent his paperwork in, because on that show they brought on the coach at Houston to talk on the same show just after he had announced. So for him to go on a show and talk about that kid publicly, he must already have the paperwork.
Yep.
So yeah. All right. Here we go. Let's hear from Mike and Alex over at Pride Roofing.
Hi, I'm Michael with Pride Roofing.
I'm little Alex.
Have you been affected by wind, hail, and tornadoes on the North Shore? Well, we're here to help.
Insurance claim, no problem.
We also have a new franchise location in New Orleans.
We don't build projects, we build memories.
Though you know Pride Roofing is the official roofer of TigerBait.com.
In fact, notify TigerBait and we'll give you a free roof inspection. And on top of that, you get a free year subscription. Remember to call us at 855-PRIDE-16.
There you go, 855-PRIDE-16. Of course, title sponsor of our show and the official roofing company of TigerBait. Done a lot of roofs in the last 4 to 6 weeks. A lot of you have jumped on that program to where you get free TigerBait premium for a year. All you have to do is say TigerBait. And so there's no obligation. You don't even have to buy the roof from them. Just get the free roof inspection and let them earn your business. But if you say TigerBait, you're going to get TigerBait premium free for a year. They're paying the bill for that. And of course, Baton Rouge, Hammond, the North Shore, Houma, New Orleans, got you covered big in all those areas. Of course, Mike Faraday is a Broadmoor High LSU grad and doing fantastic work.
By the way, I cannot stress enough, we talk about Portnoy and all the money that the Michigan people put in. Folks, you want to get a good roof. You want to have a roof that's going to last. We don't want shingles flying over. PFM referred another one, did business with Pride. Producer Don got a new roof, a new Atlas roof coming. They will sharpen the pencil, and we talk about money. He is giving that $150 discount to any spit it out, any actual.
Yeah, if you got another bid from another company, he'll beat it by $150 if it's on their letterhead. He just did one of my best friend's roofs. And the great thing about that one was she was selling her house. She moved. And of course, I think the new deal is new homeowners can't get insurance on roofs more than 10 years old. She needed to provide a new roof for the new buyer. And what was great was she only had to give them $1,000. Because she did it at closing, they knocked it out in a hurry. But if she wanted to have it done beforehand, you could give them $1,000 and you don't pay for the roof, the rest of the roof, until you close on the sale of your house. And you have a year to do it. So that's a fantastic deal that only Pride Roofing offers.
And Mike works our references personally. If you come from Mike Scarborough or Buddy Songy, he will personally take care of you. Once again, 1-855-PRIDE-16. They want to wish all of you out there a happy Thanksgiving, a blessed Thanksgiving, and appreciate the great response that we've had from all our listeners and viewers.
Dr. John Sibley Butler with a super chat. Thank you, Dr. Butler, and happy Thanksgiving. I would not pay Bryce Underwood $10 million or Dak Prescott either at Dallas. Does it make sense for players to develop their value after 2 years? Then schools can determine a kid's value and decide to pay significant money. Yeah, I don't know.
The Hall of Famer, Dr. Butler, John Sibley Butler, great fan of the show. And
there's always going to be somebody who's willing to pay. That's the problem.
Well, but here's the deal. He's making a trip to Aggie Land. And how about Texas coming in here, the only team in the conference?
Who are you pulling for?
I don't know. At this point, this is a crazy scenario. If A&M was to beat Texas at home Saturday night, They go play Georgia. If they beat Georgia, they get the automatic bid for the SEC as the SEC champion. Texas would get in, Georgia would get in, and Tennessee would be on the back end and probably get in. You would get 4.
Are you going to be like me where I want as few of SEC schools in the playoffs as possible?
No.
And I particularly don't want to see Georgia to win another title.
Well, I don't think Georgia win it this year, but no,
my whole thought of the SEC chant is no.
No, I understand that.
I'd rather, unless it's Kentucky or Vanderbilt, I want someone else to win it.
I don't think there's a great team in the SEC that will win the Natty this year.
I'll take Oregon or Ohio State.
What's that?
I'd take Oregon or Ohio State to win it over.
Ryan Day spent $13 million on 9 players. Ryan Day, choke. He's going to choke. Yep. He's a choker. Sorry.
Good luck for the Longhorn, your Longhorns as well, Dr. Butler.
Yeah, I know he'll make that trip. And Feinbaum called it the biggest game in Texas A&M history. How about that?
Do you know how sick they're going to be for Texas to come into the league when they separated themselves, and for Texas coming year 1 and beat them at their house?
They gave them a really easy schedule this year. Look at the schedule that Texas played versus Georgia.
They did Oklahoma dirty.
Oklahoma dirty, Florida dirty, and Georgia. That's the toughest schedule Georgia's ever had.
Yep.
But we're pulling for you, Dr. Butler. I'm going for Texas to win it. I don't care about all the T-sippers. They're not going to win the Natty this year. They're just not good enough.
Case and Acock with a super chat from Moo. I'm not sure if this is a super chat or a super splat, but can either of you tell me which LSU player poo-pooed his pants Saturday? Come on, man. Yeah, there was a photo of a player down on the field with a spot back there, and we couldn't make out the number, but I don't know if it was a photo.
He's not the first player to do it. He's not the last player to do it, but you were closer to the action. So
yeah, no, I wasn't that close. Thank you, Kaysen and Moo. Yeah. I don't know if that was photoshopped or real.
Well, it's kind of funny. The funny ones are when you see people throw up on the field, and then they got to come wipe it off, and then the guy's got that bad breath the whole game.
Andy Woodward shouldn't have an ounce of heat on him right now. That's Andy. Me saying that there's heat on him. Yeah. Let me tell you something about Woodward. He's in the building all day long, in the football building. I don't know how much attention he pays to the other sports. I think it's minimal.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Okay. And that's fine. But if BK is going to be out there saying that didn't have the money to do anything significant, and now you've got a 4-loss season, then that's on Woodward. So
look, the big mistake he made was giving the 10-year contract.
And when I say the heat on him, I'm not suggesting he's getting fired, but he's not immune from criticism.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be given a 10-year contract at that kind of money. Everybody is paying $9.5 million. That's not it. Are you telling me?
I don't see Jay Johnson and Kim Mulkey making excuses.
No, and that's what Andy's saying. He's saying that he's got to get credit for hiring those 2 guys. So,
well, I'll give Stephanie Rimpey that.
Well, I know, but Woody was
I'll give Woodward on Mulkey.
Woodward was still the AD.
Yeah.
But
let's see here. Chili with a super chat. Are they really after Bryce Baker, the quarterback? North Carolina quarterback commit, dual threat, one of the top 5 dual threat quarterbacks in the country. He's been committed to North Carolina, I think, since June of 23. And there's some scuttlebutt out there that Joe Sloan and them are trying to make that happen.
Yeah, because Mac Brown,
and I really like his film.
But Mac Brown got the phone call this morning. He had said yesterday, put out a release. How embarrassing is this? I want to come back next year. I'm planning on coming back. A day later, they fire him. He didn't pull a DiNardo. He didn't get the Reds and say, screw it, I'm not going to coach the last game. He's going to coach the last game of the regular season. Doesn't know if he's going to coach in the bowl game. But when you're committed to Mac Brown in that program, obviously you don't know who the head coach is going to be. You don't know who what the offensive coordinator is going to be like and what you're going to run. So there's a lot of questions. But here's the question. Do you go after a recruit like that, or do you wait and get somebody in the portal? And, oh, by the way, are we just all of the assumption that Nuss is coming back?
There's you can make a really strong argument that maybe he should go.
No, come on.
It's not saying that he's ready.
He's not ready.
It doesn't matter if he's ready. It's a poor NFL
right
group of quarterbacks.
I agree, but look, Mel Kiper's the only one that's had him way high.
No, he's not the only one.
No, everybody. No, he's not a first-round pick. If you're going to tell me he's a first-round pick after the body of work this year,
Can he be a first-round pick next year with an all-new offensive line, possibly a new offensive coordinator, a wide receiver core that we don't know how good it's going to be without Mason Taylor?
What was Joe Burrow in his first year at LSU?
Okay,
He was the 5th or 6th round pick. What was Jaden Daniels in his first year at LSU going into this year?
I'm saying you can make a strong argument that he should go.
And I'm saying that two guys came back for their final year, and they both are making $55 million in a year. And I don't know what Daniels is making another year. He needs another year. If he's that silly with his daddy of thinking he's ready.
I'm not saying they're going to do it, but I'm saying you can make an argument both ways.
I disagree. Unless he don't want to go to school and wants to get paid.
You just can't just because you don't want him to because it'll hurt the program. I'm just saying it.
I just gave you 2 examples: Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels. What do you think he would tell? What do you think he would tell Nussmeier?
You think that's what he's going to be?
Don't know. Did anybody think Jaden Daniels was going to win the freaking Heisman when he couldn't throw the ball over the line of scrimmage?
First of all, he can't run like Jaden Daniels. And he didn't have the wide receivers that Jaden Daniels got, and he doesn't have the supporting cast that Burrow had either.
But he couldn't go through the progression of reads. He worked his ever-loving butt off to get better, and experience is the best teacher, not money going to the next level. It's a no-brainer for me. Nuss, you got enough common sense.
And by the way, I think he's coming back. I'm just saying you can make the argument.
Only if you're pulling against LSU.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He's going to make a lot of money.
Yeah. He's thrown all those interceptions when we got down to nut cutting time in the SEC.
What if he knows right now that Joe Sloan isn't going to be retained? You think he wants to learn a whole new system for his senior year and have all those holes on that side of the ball that I'm talking about to come back to go to a Liberty Bowl?
Yeah, I don't know what discussions are, but by the way, that's another guy that's going to get better in year 2, Joe Sloan. Now,
does anybody in this chat think they're going 10-2 or 11-1 next year?
Nobody knows, Mike. Nobody knows.
But buddy, you can't pick and choose what you want to make predictions on. Just like you want to say that Xavier Thomas is going to have 2 punt returns for touchdowns in the preseason, I'll let you say it.
We said 1.
Okay, but you can make that prediction. I can make the prediction that they're, 8-4 is the pinnacle next season.
Well, you got it right this year. I'm just saying right now, BK and nobody on this earth knows what LSU football is going to look like for next year. Nobody. You just said Perkins might come back. CJ Daniels might come back. Emory Jones might come back. We didn't say that a week ago. It's in a revolving door and everything changes. These kids are going to make decisions. This is life-changing decisions. But right now, it's just too hard to project. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if they're going to be worth a damn. I'll tell you one thing that I think is plainly obvious, though. That schedule is going to be tougher.
That's what I'm saying.
Because you're going to be playing Ole Miss on the road, Alabama on the road.
And by the way, I'm throwing these ifs out there.
I understand.
I love Joe Sloan.
Yeah.
I hope nothing bad happens to him. But there's so many dominoes that are about to fall in the next month, right?
Please tell me he's not going to bring in Tommy.
We're going to be punched. We're going to be punch drunk from all the news.
By the way,
there's Brad Davis rumors out there, buddy.
Yeah,
that he and BK aren't getting along. There's all kind of stuff out there right now.
Sure, and that's what I'm talking about. It's a fluid situation. By the way, we love what we're doing. And this is why we can talk about this like this, because you get into politics and sex and religion and all those other topics, you start swinging fists. But there's a lot of ways to skin a cat, and I think that's a good time right now to bring up this point. This job is totally different right now than when BK took over. And I think we all have to agree he has been slow to realize the importance of paying. He had this hell bent, if you remember, said we're not going to pay players, which was probably a not good a word. He should have said we're not going to overpay players, but it's a lot harder, Mike. You got to get them in school. You got to keep them happy. You got to pay them. And then if they come in and say, I want more money, I'm going to here like Lance Hurd did, it's a lot tougher to be successful now. And he's got 2 more years to get the answers. Otherwise, it's going to be a mutual decision.
With this roster next year, will be 8-4-ish, says Andy Whitaker. With the best transfer portal class, it could be Andy, 11-1. No way, man. There's no way, man.
Oh, look, I'll tell you this. Mike was spot on. He saw a lot of stuff before
There's
me.
not that many high-quality kids that are in the portal.
You don't know, though.
You would have to have they would have to sign 12 kids that are all home runs for that to happen.
How do we know what the redshirt freshmen and the guys that didn't play this year? That's another thing.
I mean,
too.
this freshman recruiting class is fantastic, even without Bryce Underwood. But they're going to be freshmen.
Well,
So you have to I mean, you need at least one bona fide big tight end, and two if Mason Taylor does go.
oh, you need a lot of players.
Pimpton hasn't done anything. I'm ready. That's cut bait. Okay. Need two big time wide receivers. I'm talking like second team all SEC type guys minimum.
And see, this is what NIL and the transfer portal has done, though. Did you believe that there were going to be 3 losses this last weekend from Alabama, who got their butts kicked by Oklahoma, from Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin? Oh, he's sexy. He's great on the Twitter, but the son of a gun chokes again, losing to Florida. And then Texas A&M laying an egg to Auburn that we didn't even mention this year. They've been so bad and not a big factor. Nobody's even talked about it. In 4 overtimes. Would you have been able to predict that last weekend? No, it's a crazy game of college football now. Yeah. And there's a lot more parity, and there's a lot more parity when we talk about winning games at the end. And BK has got to get better and play calling in the red zone and special teams and restocking the roster. But I want to see what he does until I start throwing darts.
By the way, a lot of what I'm saying, and I mean, you're agreeing with some of it. Sure. BK is letting you know it publicly.
Yeah.
And I know off the record, he's saying just about everything I'm saying verbatim.
Okay. Well, you have more of an
He knows he does not have a championship roster. He knows that. Andy, I know there's not enough there, and not everybody's going to part the Red Sea for you to take who you want. You just go ahead, LSU. Who all do you need? Oh, you need 6 defensive players and 6 offensive players. You just go ahead and we'll all wait for the scraps. That's not how it works.
Look, I think at this time it bodes well for me just to mention this. You had 6 out of 10 new coaches this year. You had 2 new coordinators. You had a quarterback that had started 1 game. I think you have to all understand that you don't snap your fingers and become all SEC. Major Burns was preseason all SEC second team. Now, I voted him first team all SEC.
Sage Ryan's coming back.
so I voted him first team smack. But my point is that, and now look, I agree with you. I don't expect very many players to make all SEC. Will Campbell's going to make it on reputation. But who else on the offense makes all SEC?
I think Aaron Anderson's in the discussion, and that's it.
Maybe as a second or third team. No running backs. Defensively, who makes
all freshman team? Who does that? The Birmingham News?
Yeah, there'll be an all freshman team.
Cade Durham will be there.
Okay.
And that's always a harbinger.
Swinson's got to make it one of the teams on defense.
Yeah, I mean, those are your 2 best players.
Whit Weeks probably is going to have a second or third team. I don't know.
But on offense, wouldn't you?
Maybe not.
If you had to name an MVP, your best performer, wouldn't you give it to Aaron Anderson over Will Campbell on offense?
Yeah, I don't know how that would go, but certainly Swinson's been the bell cow on defense.
Yeah.
So, but look, that's the fun part of it. It's not fun, but BK, because it's tedious and they're more complicated than ever before. But building this roster, you don't have a program anymore. You have a team. It changes so much year to year. Same thing with McMahon. Same thing with Kim Mulkey. Look at all the great things. Now, making Mike's point, Kim Mulkey's got 4 or 5 stars coming in. Okay, you look at that, and that's a lot more impact than what LSU's got. But as
she moved away from the $1.5 million girl.
Yeah, and because of the culture of the locker room. So it's not easy to figure out who you're going to pay, who you're going to pay the big bucks with. And that's what I said about losing Bryce Underwood. I think Pickett and a lot of those other guys are going to get re-upped this weekend. And to me, that is a win-win regardless if you lose.
Yeah, no,
Underwood.
it's still a fantastic recruiting
Now,
class.
you make a good point, though. If you lose Nuss to the NFL, LSU is in deep trouble for next year. Then I'll jump on that Scarborough boat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Parker. He's barking in the background.
Who let the dogs out?
Yep.
Parker's a great dog. Don't bite him up.
Yeah.
He's super.
All right. I'll tell you what we got.
Hey, I apologize for being late tonight, folks. Getting over here tonight with Baton Rouge traffic was a nightmare.
I got so many errands. I can't even imagine what I'm going to be dealing with tomorrow running errands. And I know you're going to be running them just like me. All right, here we go.
Got a brand new attitude, like bing bang boom on a pink balloon, like I just do what I want to do, like ooh, brand new.
And there you go. Jaron Guidry, sales manager at Blake Mesh, salesman of the year at Genesis of Lafayette. They sell more Genesis than any other Genesis dealer in the state of Louisiana. The GV70, folks, you got to get over there. Check out the GV70. Look at this sales sheet we got right here. 2.9% financing APR for 60 months, plus $1,000 signing bonus cash on a 25 GV70. The missus, that's what she's got. In fact, she's got a silver one, just like in that image. Beautiful car. Look at that interest rate. I mean, that's you can't beat that for 60 months. Give Genesis of Lafayette the opportunity to earn your business. If you haven't test drove a Genesis, get over there and test drive one and call them up, 877-856-2961. Tell them TigerBait sent you. Go drive the GV70, the GV80. You'll love all of Genesis's offerings of new vehicles. Yeah, a lot of Tommy Reese out there says DT Troll Hunter. D Troll Hunter.
Do not want to see that.
Yeah, DD Louisiana Nuss is not going to the NFL. Both he and his father knows he needs one more year. Daniels can be a number one wide receiver. I think he's that good if he stays healthy. A great number two he is for sure. Every game he plays, he excels.
Hey, and so I did make a lot of predictions.
I do like the way he plays, but to me, he's a number two.
But he's going to get in the end zone. Everybody knows about Big Foe with Flaugier, but C.J. Daniels is going to get in the end zone as long as Kyron Lacey doesn't have a penalty. Hated to see that kid have the touchdown taken off the board, but book it. He gets in the end zone Saturday night if LSU can score. Oklahoma has not given up a lot of yardage, 311 yards a game, 20 points a game. You better be more effective in the red zone. And how about a big shout out to Josh Williams? Look, that made my heart feel so good to see 18 run like that. That's the way he ran against Alabama 2 years ago. I'd love to see him duplicate it, but what a great story. Him and Will Campbell and all the leaders getting together, but he didn't just talk the talk. He backed it up. Great story, Josh Williams. You're a great man. I think he's going to make it
fantastic
at
game.
The next level because he can play special teams. Not saying he's going to be a starting running back, but you got to admit that was good to see.
Yeah.
And I've been critical of him and certainly been critical of Frank.
I have too. That was his best.
So kudos to you, young man.
Yeah, I talked about that earlier. What I've gathered today is that look for him to come back.
Who?
Harold Perkins.
Harold
I think
Perkins.
there's a chance Harold Perkins made this. I'm told he liked what he saw of that 4-3 linebacker alignment last weekend.
Devon Keys is number 42. He's just starting to get into the
I'm
mix.
also told he's running hard straight ahead already.
Yeah. Well, BK said that at his Money press conference. He's had a great recovery. And so if you get Emory Jones, C.J. Daniels, Harold Perkins, that's three guys that you didn't necessarily think you were going to get. You get back Nuss. That's what I'm saying. These pieces keep falling together day by day, and you got to hold tight with that recruiting class next Wednesday afternoon. How early are these guys? Is it going to be a long production? We're going to know by 10:30 and 11 o'clock in the morning?
It'll be done before noon.
Okay, good deal. And, of course, Mike, is that's been a long day for you. What, 20 years? Almost 30 years?
Yeah, they've gotten easier and easier is this new era. Dr. Butler says, hope Nuss has a great year if he decides to return. Yeah. I think what you want is, if you're an LSU fan, you want to be talking about, wow, what did Austin Thomas put together? You want Austin Thomas to be your hero around Christmas. What was it, December 26th that all those came through that one year? You want Austin Thomas to be like, holy cow, what a difference Austin Thomas makes. That's what you want to be saying a month from now.
And that was the most positive thing that I think he said. You've asked him the question a couple of times this year, and he kind of sloughed it off, but I think he's come to reality that he got booed this year. He got tore up in Baton Rouge. Look, the nation already hates BK. If you want to throw daggers at him and call him a mofo and fire him and you're not worth a damn and all you do is play golf and this and that, that's fine. But remember, everybody else in the country is doing that now. So at some point, you've got to give him a little rope. And whether you want to hear it or not, he's going to get 2 more years. And to me, I'd much rather see them do good. If he doesn't make it, we're going to know there's plenty of reasons, and we'll know in 2 years. But I want to give him a chance, just like I do every coach at the beginning of the year. But they've got to win Saturday and have that momentum carry over to next Wednesday.
Yep. Eric DeLine, I know a former LSU player that's telling me that Colin Hurley will be a great quarterback for LSU. Says he's not worried about the quarterback position because Hurley will be that good. Your thoughts, Mike? I think he already knows he's the number 2 quarterback based on some conversations.
He looked good in the spring game. He's got a big arm. Now, he doesn't have the foot speed for the run-pass option, but what was that do? A.J. Swan and Ricky Collins, you and I would agree that Ricky's probably going to be the guy that left out and go?
I think he made that decision in August.
Yeah. So we'll see. But look, that would be, if you bring in now, if you lose Collins, do they bring in another recruit? Do they bring in another portal quarterback? That's yet to be determined.
Yeah. Brad David, I kind of feel bad for Sloan. I would be so depressed if I spent all that time recruiting Underwood and ended up. Absolutely. I've kind of joked about it, but it's not really funny to him. But I don't know how he kept any meals down the first 48 hours after that last week. All the effort, everything that you do, and for a coach like him, you sign a guy like Bryce Underwood, and if he's everything he's billed to be, you know what that does for your career? How many? I always bring up Ensminger. What was how many people loved Ensminger as an offensive coordinator before Joe Burrow
and Joe Brady too?
Yeah, he retired on top.
Yeah. Well, look, now we bring it in one other part that has been bothering me all year long, and that is the simplicity of LSU's offense. BK's saying we got to simplify it. We only called 5 plays. We did this, this, and this. If you watch Texas, if you watch Ole Miss, you watch all these teams that throw it around, BK is going to have to come to the realization that running right up the gut is not going to play out. He's going to have to get the ball to his playmakers out quick. This weekend especially, Oklahoma's going to be blitzing. They're very aggressive. You better have some short stuff for Nuss to throw. I thought they did a good job of having their running backs get out the backfield and come back in safety valves, and 4 catches for Williams for 61 yards. Look, this simplicity, I've said it. I'm going to say it again. I worry if the offensive game in college football has not passed BK by. And I think that we saw it with Nick Saban. And guess what? He changed. Can Brian Kelly put his ego in his pocket and call the kind of stuff that all the cutting edge colleges are calling right now? I think he can, but a lot of it is he doesn't have the personnel that he needs to do it. And that's why you wait to see what they get in here.
I think if you asked him what's his number 1 position on offense in the portal, he's probably going to tell you offensive guards.
Well, in center, who's going to play center? Do you keep DJ Chester at center?
Yeah, I think guards is his number 1 though.
Yeah,
he needs athletic guards to do what he wants to do.
And of course, that was been a big disappointment. Look, you didn't give me the scoop. So Brad Davis and BK aren't exactly friends.
No, it's I mean, people talk about how their body language each other, and I mean, look, you got to realize how heated has that gotten throughout the season with a running game that can't get uncorked, not getting much push from the offensive line. I mean, look, coaches get after each other. Sometimes it means more than it does, and sometimes it doesn't mean anything. But
that's what I was saying earlier, Mike. You got 6 new coaches going through the pressure of having to win every game, and that's what every big-time school has. They want to win every game. It's not feasible to think they are. But did you see all the smoke and the butt chewing with players and assistants and special team coaches and up to look, they may not want to be a part of it anymore, but we just don't know. I will say this. He wants to be less predictable. I don't remember if it was 2 games ago or whatever, but I charted it 12 of 13 times when Caden Durham came from the side and got behind Nussmeier in the pistol. They ran 12 of 13 times. If we can see it, the other coaches see it. So I think they've got to spice it up a little bit on offense, not be so predictable, but they've got to improve the talent, no doubt.
Kenny Haynes is a proud 1989 graduate of LSU Law School with a passion for justice. Kenny stands out as the only lawyer in the state, board certified in both appellate practice and family law. Drawing from 34 years of trial experience, Kenny has navigated the most complex aspects of real people's lives. If you need help in Northwest Louisiana with a family issue, legal issue, or a highly skilled trial attorney, call Kenny 318-222-2100.
all right, everybody. Located at 107 3rd Street. You got to get over to Stroube Seafood and Steaks. They're of course, they sponsor all of our live shows here at TigerBait. They pride themselves on providing a 5-star dining experience for a reasonable price. Stroobe's is locally owned, ownership right in the building, taking a high level of pride. They got a full menu of specialty meats, USDA prime black Angus, 100% certified Wagyu New York strip. And if you're looking for something beyond steaks, they've got fantastic seafood. They got the dry aged pork chop, black truffle lobster, pasta, redfish, and much more. Book your reservation online tonight at Stroobies.com, and please let them know that TigerBait sent you in.
Hey, that's where we disagree. You love the Cowboy Big O ribeye. The pork chop is to die for. Once again, you call them. They do a great job. You ask them about parking. You ask them about how busy. You ask them about reservations. Do a great job of talking to you. And don't forget to mention TigerBait when you're calling in.
Absolutely. Great players make great coaches, says DD Louisiana. John Sibley Butler, to throw it around the playmakers, you need pure speed. Tigers are not built like that yet.
He said that the first game of the year. He told you and I on this show, LSU doesn't have the speed that they normally have. And so physicality, speed. Look, BK's got a lot of wish lists on his Christmas list.
But, you know, it was staggering to me, and this is really it's something to think about. Since BK's got here, can you name some big-time athletes that have gotten away from the state of Louisiana that are doing huge things somewhere else? They've gotten them all. So where's the typical Louisiana speed? I mean, it's kind of an anomaly right now. Don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, look.
I mean, someone was in the chat last week saying you need more Texas players. They've got a good number of Texas players.
I don't think you can just classify whether it's a state or whatever. They've got to do a better job of hooking up with the long ball. Jelani Watkins is redshirt, and he's a super fast guy. Finally, the Aaron Anderson with the cuts that we made. This is the guy that Mike and I was salivating. It takes a while for these guys to get that experience, but that is the kind of Aaron Anderson we thought was going to happen in day one. And is he coming back?
Yeah, he's coming back.
So, look, let's just chill out, enjoy your turkey. You need to get the victory Saturday night. You need to finish off. What's the latest you're hearing on the big lineman commit to Solomon?
I think I meant to I put this caption up on this a comment up on. I meant to say that I think LSU's looking real good there.
Okay, and Brad Davis has done a good job of recruiting. I think the big question for Brad Davis is developing some of these guys. And we saw Mubinga. look, I like Weston Davis. He got red shirt. Ori Williams, a lot of these other guys still couldn't. A little shocked that Bo Bordelon didn't have more opportunities this year. But there's going to be some experience. But if you get Big 5-0 back and you start DJ Chester at center and Mubinga is going to be at left guard in the running for left guard, then you got to replace Miles Frazier and Will Campbell. And so that's doable. I'm with you. I think Mason Taylor's going to go, and they've done a bad job of bringing on tight ends. So that's going to be a mess. And at running back, what are you hearing?
I mean, I think JD LaFleur is just going to need time, but he's more of a blocker.
Who's that?
David LaFleur.
Oh, JD
John
LaFleur.
David.
Yeah. What you hearing on Caleb Jackson?
That's up in the air.
Yeah.
I might have something on him soon, but
okay. So anyway, Deshaun Womack, 5-star defensive end, was suspended one game against Florida, didn't play last week. I don't know what's going on there. You're going to lose some transfer portal kids. Just put it in your pipe and smoke it. They're going to lose maybe, 7 to 8?
Well, and that was the other thing. In fact, I wanted to ask the question on Monday. But don't think this doesn't go both ways. Okay. There's going to be some guys that he's going to say, you need to go somewhere else.
Sure.
All these players want to get in the portal and see how much money they can make and not be loyal. That goes both ways. And since the SEC is not going to 105 and sticking at 85, he's got to make some room.
Yeah.
Because he needs an infusion of talent. The high school kids that he's got coming in. But he also needs transfer portal big.
Deshaun Spears, number 10. Javian Toviano, number 25. Colin Jackson, 23. All disappointed those guys hadn't got more reps in the last couple of games, Mike. Safety has got to be a work in progress.
What do you think the transfer portal number is going to be? You got an over-under on that you want to set?
What do you think?
What's the biggest number he's signed transfer portal so far?
Oh, that first year was, a ton. 30-something, 20-something. I'd say they're going to lose 7 to 8 players.
But I think his signing class at portal.
Oh, it's going to be up there.
Middle teens?
Yeah, maybe even more. We'll see.
Yeah.
This is what we're saying. Who knows what Cameron Pimpton's going to do? He may want to go somewhere where he plays at a smaller school or whatever. Same thing with some of these guys we're talking about. What's Shelton Sampson going to do? Everybody wants the light to come on as soon as you get on campus. It doesn't work that way. It takes longer for some people.
Travis Wilburn, you guys sure Ricky Collins is leaving for sure? I've heard nothing.
Who?
Ricky Collins.
No, we're just saying that when you analyze the quarterback situation, more than likely there's going to be a departure or two. And you've talked to Ricky's mom, and you've talked to Ricky.
Well, I mean, not since the summer, but I've gotten other things from in the periphery.
It does change. By the way, Ricky Collins, and just a little Amanda Spicy tidbit, folks. Ricky Collins is 5 for 5 this year throwing the football.
And I don't think it matters that now Underwood's not coming, that Ricky would stay. Unless they're going to pay him a ton of money.
Or he could wait to see what happens in spring.
I don't think that's the problem. I don't think he's willing to wait.
Yeah, if he doesn't will and wait, then you don't know who's number 2.
I think he wants to play now.
Yeah. Well, I always thought that they were going to have a package for him inside the red zone, and that's
because it's one of these deals. It's not just that you because LSU's making it obvious that they're recruiting over him. But
I'm a believer that you need to have a dual threat quarterback. That even if he's not your starter, you got to have a backup. Ricky Collins could come in, doesn't have the skins on the wall, but he can run the football better than Nussmeier. Nuss is not a normal runner. It's an acquired taste for him. It's not a natural runner. And so everybody's got it. And look, you see what A&M and everybody does it. Oh, by the way, the Oklahoma quarterback ran 25 times for over $1.25. So you better get ready to see if Blake Baker has dialed it up. I hope they get after Oklahoma. If they have the same game plan against Alabama, start drinking heavily in the first quarter because it's going to be cold.
Y'all, please hit that like button if you're enjoying the show. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, notification bell. And let me tell you about Capital City Grill. If you're going to be in town for the LSU Oklahoma game. Head over for their Sunday brunch. Again, 100 Lafayette Street, one of the best brunches in Baton Rouge. And look, Capital City Grill is your ideal lunch and dinner stop for any casual dining experience. Variety of sandwiches, burgers, seafood, pasta, steaks, everything priced at $30 or below for an affordable experience. And don't forget to celebrate a Tigers win. Like I said, at their Sunday morning brunch from 11 to 2, go to capitalcitygrill.net and again, tell them TigerBait sent you in. And Alumni Hall, got to talk about them. Best place to get all your LSU gear. They've got all the quarter zip pullos, all the new jackets, everything you see the coaches wearing on the sideline, Johnny O on reserve, Southern Tide, and much more. Use the code TigerBait, all one word, and you're going to get 10% off in store or when you check out online. And again, they got the 2 for $38 tables up front, and there's even more online that they can fit in the store. Check out their drop ship tab on alumnihall.com for items that will ship directly to you. Solo stoves, fire pits, artwork, and more. They got big and tall items online in a big way. Man cave makeovers, everything at Alumni Hall. If you want something that's got LSU on it, they've got it.
Hats, including this one. That's why I wore this hat. It is a lucky hat on these shows, so I'm trying to bring LSU in. Once again, I deal with it, and you do too. Bluebonnet Perkins, give yourself an extra 15 minutes to browse in the store. It is fantastic. You can find something that you like, your wife likes, the kids like, and make sure you tell them TigerBait. Tell them how to get the discount.
I said all one word, TigerBait. Just say it at the register, or if you're shopping online, put it when you're checking out, put it in the box, the promo code TigerBait, and you're going to get 10% off. Ingram Yelder, Ricky Collins is leaving. My friend knows his family. He's looking at Florida State and UCLA.
Huh. I didn't think anybody was looking at Florida State. They lost another commitment today, Mike, a running back that is going to Florida. And let's give Billy Napier credit. They gave him a 1-year vote of confidence, and he's flipped 3 or 4 Florida State players. And so Florida State and Mike Norvell have had a bad season, and they are losing commitments. They might finish in the 50s. They've lost so many players recruiting Florida State.
It's crazy.
Yeah. By the way, where do you think LSU?
Prediction for the weekend?
Yeah, where do you think they will, if they get the people they expect to get next Wednesday? And of course, we know Weeks' brother is reclassified to 2025. So
we had him on Preston's show last night. He was good, very good interview.
Very good. Great
show. If you didn't see that,
guys.
check it out. Check it out.
But only the second time in LSU history that they had 3 brothers on the team at the same time. Curtis Taylor, Brandon Taylor, and Jaron Taylor, who was a wide receiver, wasn't a DB like the other 2, were at LSU at the same time. And now, of course, Wes looks skinny.
Give me another 3, but they didn't play together.
Oh, the Jeffersons.
Easy. That's easy.
Yeah. I mean, everybody knows Jordan and Ricky and Justin. But look, it's going to
– been a lot of duos too. The Hazard brothers.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Leroy and Leroy Jones. I mean, you can go back with a bunch of brothers, but it's good that this kid wanted to come here. And that's the thing, Mike. We see the local smoke.
Melvin Hill, Greg Hill.
Yeah. But I was going to say, we see how mad everybody is, but to a lot of people and the Weeks family, this is still a hell of a place. Wes Weeks can play enough this year and in the bowl game to redshirt 33.
But he can't play this Saturday, right?
I don't know how many games he played.
Saturday against Vanderbilt was 4.
Okay, that was 4. Okay, well then he can't play this week.
He can't play this week, but he can play in the bowl.
He can play in the bowl, and of course Witt and Zach. So the Weeks brothers are going to be here. But I thought Wes played good in the reps that he got Saturday against Andy.
Yeah. Anything you want to add on the way out? You got
Oklahoma, first time coming in. As we said, you got to tackle Jackson Arnold. They're playing very physical. And once again, look, the last time we saw LSU play Oklahoma, it was one of the greatest games that you ever want to watch on a replay with Justin Jefferson.
It's going to be another cold game. Did you see that?
What's that?
A high of 61, a low of 39 Saturday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Bring your blankets and eat your man the sausage at the ball games.
Bundle up.
Bundle up. Have a great Thanksgiving. I am picking LSU to win on a Damian Ramos field goal 23-20. I'd love to see C.J. Daniels score his first
I
touchdown
think LSU
of
wins
the
this
year.
one.
And but I'll tell you what, now you better go tackle the quarterback, and they have the best linebacker. You're going to see him paroling and making plays everywhere. But Josh Williams, you have another game like he did last weekend? What a great story that'd be to follow that up.
Yeah, it would be. I don't know. I think LSU finishes it out. I think Oklahoma, what they did Saturday night, I don't know if they can do it 2 weeks in a row.
21 seniors being honored, and some of those guys have been a big part of LSU history.
What was it, 21 or 22 class that are seniors this?
Let's see, whatever Will and them, whenever they were coming in. So what?
Was it
21,
class
22,
21?
23.
And there are only like two left.
22, yeah.
There's only two left.
Yeah. So anyway, have a blessed and
No,
great.
Tyree Love, did I? Let me go back. Let me go back and get it.
Okay.
I'm not skipping over anything. We had a super chat that they say we're missing. Oh yeah, Tyree Love, got it, man. I'm sorry. Thank you for the super chat. It goes LSU 10-2, Michigan 7-4. Bryce's transfer year 2.
Well,
Michigan's got a lot of holes, man. You're right. I mean, they
sorry, Mr. Love, they got to play 12. So if they're going to be 8-4, I'll agree.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you know, this is what's so much fun. I know people like to project, but
Michigan needs more than just Bryce Underwood.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But look, the mama and daddy, that's a lot of pressure on them to come down here in this part of the country. It's a different world. They got paid. I'm not pulling against him. I want to see LSU. This is what I'd like to see. I'd like to see LSU and Michigan play in a bowl game next year. And we'll see. But it's hard to project.
I mean, it's crazy that those two schools have never met.
No.
So,
uh-oh.
And there's Parker.
Parker's saying the guy's going to be a dog. I don't know if that's a good dog or a bad dog.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Very thankful to all of you. Me and Buddy getting spicy earlier in the show. Good stuff. But thankful to all of you being a part of our TigerBait community and tuning in every week. And I want all of y'all have a happy Thanksgiving. Be safe on the roads. And anything else you want to say?
Yeah, just peace to everybody. And once again, enjoy it with your family. And look, none of us are guaranteed tomorrow. So we all know we're going to go on diets next week. Man, this football season.
Don't they say you have a higher incident of heart attacks during the holiday season? I wonder if the first 15 minutes of this show is an indication that we need to be treading a little lightly in the next few days.
Well, look,
but I haven't been out in the traffic like he has. I will be tomorrow.
Look, if you don't believe in God, you better be right and bring it in the right way. And let's hopeful that Mike is not going to have the joke on all of us. In the press box, he's been known when LSU's stunking up a little bit, he goes under his breath, 7-5, 7-5. So I hope that doesn't come to fruition. You picked 9-3, but you basically really told me I really believe it's going to be 8-4. So
yeah.
Hey, look, Mike and I are close friends.
You know what I did to Zach Nagy?
What's that?
Because he sits a few seats down after that first Vanderbilt touchdown. I rolled by and I said, I'm revising down to 6-6. And but that was a really nice win for LSU. And that Clark Lee team is very well coached. I mean, that's the best Vanderbilt team of my lifetime. Is it yours?
Yeah.
I mean, has there been a better Vanderbilt team than this one?
Well, and look, if Pavia hadn't gotten banged up a little bit, he would have been a little bit better. But look, hang in there. I know it's a tough time. The bad karma. This Hats is going to bring them to a victory, 8-4. And once again, you win that game. You carry the momentum. Percentage on flipping Solomon Thomas.
I like LSU a lot.
Okay.
I don't have a percentage yet.
And so you lost Underwood, but you picked up Weeks. If you get Thomas,
where does his former offensive line coach end up? Is it was recruiting the floor? That's a wink and a nod. Where's Atkins going to end up?
But I'm saying you're losing Underwood, but you picked up Weeks' brother, and now if you get this kid, you think still top 5, right around top 5 class. If they get everybody else,
I mean, it's the middle of the top 10. Yeah, I mean, look, when you lose Bryce Underwood, that took a piece out of you, but. This class is fine. I don't care if it ends up 7th or 8th. The transfer portal is now the most important thing.
And Mike's been telling him.
Lock down this class. Don't have any last minute craziness. But if everybody who's there now is there, and you add a Solomon Thomas, and we'll see if there's anybody else. But the transfer portal is huge, and like I said, you want to be talking about what a guru and a hero that Austin Thomas is at the end of December.
And look, we may tweak it and go 6 o'clock next Wednesday, depending on Mike, how you feel, how I feel. It's going to be a long day. But as always, appreciate all of you guys and ladies tuning in, and enjoy the turkey. Man, I love the yams that my sister does. Crawfish, broccoli, casserole, mashed potatoes, bread. I don't do the sweets. Turkey, ham.
I got a lemon icebox pie coming from Elsie's tomorrow.
Imagine that. Have a great one, folks.
All right, y'all have a good night.